YouTube. I think I need to get what's the the words to my intro and to my intro song. I really love that song. It's really upbeat. It gets me going early in the morning. Yeah, yeah. I'm I'm starting a little early today. As we normally say, I ain't got nothing. But I was just reminded I'm paying for the StreamYard, so I need to get a little extra out of this. I've been coming up with, ideas, wearing myself out, yelling and screaming on this microphone for past crap that has happened to me that I've dealt with, hoping that someone else wouldn't be as, you know, didn't have to go through what I went through, but we all go through it. It's just in different situations, but it feels good to be feels good to be alive this morning. I was tickled pink. This is the first, and I know there's other ones, but this is the first truck stop that I've actually stopped at that had a daggone Sam's Club. So I walked over there since I had lost my wallet last week. Walked over to the Sam's Club and got me a new Sam's Club card and did a little shopping. Got me some some lunch meat and stuff like that. I got it's so funny. My Norma, she wants me to have these fancy, well, what's your sides and what's this? You know, truck driving is kind of just like camping. You have one thing or one or two things, and that's kind of really it. You know what I mean? Um, I mean that's really kind of really it. And I'm kind of set. I'm kind of set with that. I'm good with that. So I look for one or two things to eat because one you don't have running water. Two, you gotta wash all this stuff. You see what I'm saying? You gotta wash all this mess, and then you gotta scrub it down and just because normally I get lazy and it just be sitting there. Like I got this like insert for my I got an insert for my air fryer, but you really don't want to put no food in that insert. It stinks. So what I'm gonna do today is I gotta look for my dishwashing liquid and put a little in there, some water, put it back in the air fryer, and let that sucker boil up a little bit, so I don't die from the bacteria. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm nasty. Sorry. but this is what goes on out here. It's either that or spend time. Like okay, say if you want to eat healthy out here. A little salad between $6 to $9, and God forbid it's got meat on it. That's $10. That's $10, man. You know, four boiled eggs is $6 to $8. They have boiled eggs in a cup, a clear plastic cup. One little cheese stick is 99 cents. You see what I'm saying? One little cheese stick is 99 cents. Then you wonder why most truck drivers are big and fat. Oh no, The pizza's cheap. Oh, it used to be. I don't know about now. The pizza's cheap. It's but all those carbs and all that greasy ass cheese, and you wonder why drivers are the way we look. You know what I'm saying? They don't tell you about that part. They don't tell you about the part that 9 times out of 10 we're sleep deprived. You know, I actually literally, I don't know how this is working. I actually got out 2 hours early. I set the clock for an hour early, but I was sitting there calculating for because I'm in Central Time, so I'm trying to keep everything to 5 o'clock, Eastern Time zone. You know what I mean? But somewhere I screwed up and then I thought I was running behind, and because I lost my card for I lost my wallet and had to give it all the credit cards. So Steam Dot said, "Hey, you owe us a bill." You know what I'm saying? So I had to dip in. I'm thinking it's going on 5 o'clock, and I looked down and it said 4 o'clock, 4 o'clock Eastern Time. I'm like, what the heck? So I slowed down. So I said, you know what the heck? Let me slow down. I went and paid it, but I need to add a little few more minutes on here. It's I got to give my hats off to the normal people that do this. I give my hats off to the people that stay dedicated. Motivational weightlifting geek was saying, I think what he's saying is, don't give up, keep going, stay with it, don't stop. I think that was what his conversation was last night, and it's hard. A lot of us a lot of us are doing this because we want to make something out of it, but you know I I get hooked on things. Um, I'm kind of doing this because it's actually giving me a reason. Not, I mean, I'm not the president, but it's giving me a reason to get up on time, get going, do yada yada yada, stay with it, and then I just show you guys a piece of you know, my my life. I started this page for so I can record that because I was living in a dark cloud, and I started recording because I've started living. I'm not saying I live a fantastic life, but I was just happy I was finally living a normal life. Normal for me. Might be crazy for y'all, but it's normal for me. You know, and I'm happy. I'm good. Um, Sometimes I feel like in my marriage we're like two teenagers just tickle pink and we found each other. I wish I would have found her years earlier. You know what I mean? We good. Um, I started out with a cup of coffee. And I gotta stop being so cheap. My coffee machine gave up the ghost, but it works a little bit. It'll give me like 2 ounces, then I gotta hit the brew button again. It'll give me another 2 ounces. I gotta hit the brew button again. It'll give me 1 ounce. Then I gotta hit the brew button again. I do like 4 or 5 times before I get a decent cup of coffee. I got a new mug to play with it with, and that's it's kind of normal for me, and I'm good with it. But there's so many things that they don't tell you about when you get out here as a truck driver. Everybody, you get out, you make tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of money. Well, you can make good money, but you got to work your way into that. You gotta work your way into that. You gotta be You're not gonna make a lot of money driving this thing by yourself. You gotta have a team driver, be a team driver. You know what I mean? And the company's got to know that you're gonna get it there. A lot of us get in here, we complain, you don't make it and stuff on time. Oh, oh. These guys, trucking companies, if you don't make it there on time, if you're late all the time, and they're not going to give you the good loads. They're going to give you the mediocre stuff. They're going to give you the pain in the behind loads. They're not going to give you stuff that's worth your time. And that's why you see a lot of guys complaining. I was talking to Charles. One guy, I overheard the dispatcher say, "Oh, he don't drive at night." How you gonna be a truck driver and you don't drive at night? Y'all see what I'm doing right now? How you gonna be a truck driver and you don't drive at night? What in Sam Hill are we talking about here? I mean, really. But back to um back to the prices of food. They have it's nothing in these truck stops that are actually healthy and or good for you. You know what I mean? Um, there's nothing in there. There's rows and rows of potato chips and candies and overpriced candies and a bag of chips. A bag of popcorn is like what freaking $4 or $5 popcorn. You know, um, I'm kind of lost for words here. Um, Stuff is just skyrocketing. But the world don't care about us. Oh, well, let me stop being in the third world here and listen to the and listen to my GPS. By the way, y'all are here that GPS to say one thing, and then I'm still looking for it because I know in certain areas. Because Charles said your GPS was telling you where to turn. No, not at that place because I've been there before, and I know it was actually the where the GPS was telling me to turn. It was actually a closed off road, and that was the same thing that happened in Tennessee. I followed the GPS and I already made the turn, and I couldn't turn around. I had to back out into onto the highway, which was like I'm praying nobody was coming. I was going real slow, but I already made the turn, and that gate was closed, and there's no way to turn around. And I didn't, wanted to freaking destroy the truck. But you know, these truck stops have us eating all this fast food and all that stuff. Then you wonder why, our stomachs are so messed up. And you wonder why you're pumping down this and wondering why that and God forbid you can hear it in the bathroom. You know, you know, there's no healthy gut syndrome. That's why I try to you know I try to take a lot of fiber, keep stuff moving. But I'm trying the best I can to eat as decent as I can out here. You know, um, it just is what it is. Okay, let me turn that off. But we're on track today. I got 770 miles to go, starting bright and early. I got at least do 500 a day, and see if I can do 550. So to make it much easier for me to make it much easier for me in the morning to get my load and keep on going. What pissed me off, and I gotta just slow my roll. What I'm gonna do is every 3 days, I'm a mark it on my calendar so my phone will remind me. I don't know. There's no even reason why I should call in today and ask that they fix it. You know, one of my benefits as a truck driver working for here at Night Transportation, I get 5 cents. No, I think it's either 2 or 4 cents, something like that, 2 or 4 cents off of every mile that I do for this last quarter is added up and then it's invested in stocks for me. Well, I got overlooked with the last quarter, and I know I get really pissed when it comes to my money. So what I'm gonna do when I stop for a break. I'm gonna set my phone every 3 days. I'm gonna call in. Hey, did y'all fix this problem yet? Because the next quarter's coming up at the end of May. I need this mess fixed so I can get my money. You see what I'm saying? You know, everybody else don't like playing with their money, but and I know that the head dude used to be my DM years ago, saying he knows me. I don't like you playing with my damn money, but there's nothing they can do about it right now. But fixing in the system, just all I'm asking is fixing in the system, so I get my money from last quarter and the money for this quarter, and then probably 3, 6, 9, 12. In 2 months, I'll get another 2 cents added to that because I'll be at 850,000 miles for this company. So once I hit a million, which is about 2 years from now, I get a $5,000 check. Right out the box, I get a $5,000 check. And what am I going to do with that? I plan to. I want to buy me. I would like to get. I can't get a new one because they're over 100 grand. I would like to get a used F-350 pickup truck. Why you say that? Um, One, I like pickup trucks. Two, you know, it's the truck I want before. I can't. I'm getting older. That's probably gonna be my last vehicle. I'm gonna get it. Probably have the engine worked on, the transmission worked on, repainted, redone. It'll be cheaper if I do a little bit at a time, and it'll become my new vehicle. Even though it's a used vehicle, it'll become my new vehicle. You know what I mean? And I want to just, and again, this is like a healing process. I just want to say, hey, pops, I did what you did. I got this. My father had an F-350. He had an F-350. Um, it's funny how we have, and this all kind of intertwines. When we have, and I'm not saying all single mothers are like this, but I remember watching on that. What's that show with the lady? The judge, the female judge, is the female judge is telling if you're the father or not the father, and she sometimes she's got to talk to people because you can see the hurt in their eyes. Well, in this one I watched, and it kind of broke my heart, but I could see what the child was, and she wasn't a child; she was a young adult, and the mother was on the other side, and she says, I was your mother, I was your father. And that's the problem with most women. Y'all got to stop doing it. I was your mother, and I had to be a better mother. Stop saying I was your mother and your father. They even had. There was one guy that on there was saying, I was, he was. The wife or the girlfriend left, and he had to take care of these kids. He didn't even know if they were his, but he tried to be the best father he could. And instead of him saying, I was your mother and your father, he said, you know what, I got online, I drew stuff out, and I didn't know, but I tried to explain it. You could see the kids tearing up because they were laughing. I didn't know, but he was trying to do the womanly stuff, the stuff about the once a month and all. I don't know if I could have did it, but if it was my baby girl, I would have did my best to do it. He said I drew diagrams and showed. He didn't say I was the mother, but back to what I was saying, she said, I was the mother and the father, and the girl says, no, you wasn't. You was my mother. I've always wanted a father. I want to know who my father is. And a lot half the time we wonder why, you know, you, you know, we wonder why. But children need their father, even though the father can be the biggest asshole in the world. We need the father because my father was an ass, but I still loved him. And certain things in me still. I don't want to be that mean part of him, but I wanted to be some of the other parts of him. I started tuning up, and sometimes I wonder why do I like tinkering with things. And part of that is my father was a mechanic. I always wanted to learn about that stuff, but he was really mean. You know, he was really mean. And I remember when I fixed that aerator and I got it going, because I had to pull the I had to pull this hose out and this connection and figure that out. And it turned out that the fuel line, or I had to replace the whole fuel line, the whole fuel system. There's just all the lines and everything. And I had to figure out how to get it through this really tight area. And I said, man, can I reroute it? And I took some grease and put it on the rubber hose, and it fit through there. And just stuff like that. And I actually got this old machine that in its heyday was probably 15 to 20 grand. You know, it pulls the cores out of the ground. They don't even make I figured out they don't even make the pointy pieces that go on the ground anymore. So I had to buy these off sizes, and I just had two sets. I got four, five, four, five. I got four more sets I got to get going, and probably today I might order a piece today. I don't know, or next week, one of the two. And I got them welded together, and I'll be almost done with this machine that I actually can get it to work. That to get it to work, and it'll be able to work. The hydraulics is kind of set low. It's kind of set low, but once I get the hydraulics, it'll be a working machine. And even if I actually get it fully working, you know, I could, if I wanted to, if I was working, if not home every night or once a weekend, I could start. They have a core aerating business. You can start at $100 a pop to do someone's yard, to aerate their yard. And I have the machine now. But I remember when I got it to work, and you could hear it on the video. I'm screaming at the top of my lungs. I was so happy that I actually fixed something. Those times in our lives become healing moments. They become moments where we let something that we've been, I guess, holding on for a long time, but we actually let something go. And we're so, what's more proud of saying, I wish my mother, I wish my father was proud of me. It's more times where you can say to yourself, I'm proud of myself that I did something. I did something. You know what I mean? Those are the times in our lives where they're memorable. And I could look back at my YouTube page and I could see when I did a video, or those are moments where I could feel something. I could feel the enjoyment that I did that, and it was like, oh my God, I gotta make a video. I gotta. No, these are points in the situation where, wow, you know, I did something. I did that, or I can remember what happened at that moment, and I can't remember. I'm getting old. I can't remember crap, but I remembered that. That's the fun in doing this. The fun in talking to people and let somebody know, hey, this is what I did. Look at me, you know. And that's why, when that $5,000, I'm hopefully, God willing, and everything stays safe and I keep driving right. I can put more money down. You know, I know y'all probably get sick of hearing me talk about my wife, but you know, they when people like Christians say, "I found my rib," because it says God took the rib out of Adam and made Eve, and blah blah blah, and we're oppressed, and yeah, you're not oppressed. Give me a break. Women rule the damn world, and y'all know it. Y'all know it. But it's so funny. I was at a shipper yesterday, and the missus called, and I said, I'm gonna have to call you back. And she actually said, "Aw," and that made me so freaking happy. She was disappointed she couldn't speak to me for a minute. In every relationship that I've been in, they didn't want to speak to me. They didn't want to be fucking bothered with me. Like, bro, this, didn't even want to answer the phone. That's why I'm so thankful. That's why I'm so appreciative. You know what I mean? That's why I get up and get down the road. We got bills to pay. You know what I mean? We got stuff to do. You know. But let me get to one part of what I said we were gonna do today. They don't. It's probably not gonna be that long. Let's see if I can do this. Oh, let's see where it's at. Okay. One thing they don't tell you about being on the road, being a truck driver, especially post COVID, it's hard to find places to go to the bathroom around here. A lot of the shippers and receivers, you used to be able to come in the door and say, "Hey, can I use, where's your bathroom? Can I use the bathroom?" They don't let you do that no more. They don't let you, get out and do what you gotta do. And now, you know, us men, anytime you see liquid on the side of the road in a container, y'all know what that is, and that's nasty though. And most truck drivers, that's what they do for number one. And just so you know. And I found out that if you're caught, I think it's in Oregon or something like that. You know, doing the number one, maybe in between the truck or whatever, that's a real hefty fine. Like you might as well say, look, I think like 10 or 20 grand. Don't quote me on that, but I remember hearing that somewhere because you're depositing a biohazard, really. Um, but as a woman, it's damn near next to impossible. Y'all got to sit down for two things. A woman truck driver. So what the heck? The situation, the things y'all got to do out here is kind of embarrassing. You know what I mean? It's it's kind of but it's like, what's the word? You got to go. Uh, well, it's like going camping. They have certain things that you could do. They have toilets that you could connect to a toilet seat that you can connect to a bucket. You have certain types of portable, bathrooms and stuff. Um, and half the time, the sad part is, I would prefer the portable bathrooms that you take around with you to the ones in the real bathroom. Some of these bathrooms in these truck stops are so freaking horrendous. They're so freaking horrendous. It's unbelievable. But I don't know about you guys. I was telling Charles yesterday. I I can't wait for summer. I'm kind of sick of this cold weather. I don't know where you're at, Mike. You're way up the north. It's probably still cold, but right now it's 56, and I'm tired of cold. Okay, I got. Okay, let's put the cruise control on, and let's get down the daggone road. But you know, I, I wish they would change some of this. Because I get paid by the mile, and uh, I don't know. I don't know. But the what was I gonna say? Okay, well let's talk about. I was supposed to talk about it yesterday, but right now I'm at my hours. Right now I'm at like 1,840 hours. We're almost at the halfway point. We're almost at the halfway point, and I think I'm at 552. So again, I'm at the halfway point. A lot of times when what was going on, you know, with in our YouTube streets, we had folks that would run our play hours and get us over that hump. Well, I learned. I think it was on Miss B's channel where she said don't do that no more because they could actually they would ding you for that and you might actually lose your channel. So don't quote me on that. Do your homework. Um, I don't want to lose my channel because I don't worked hard to get this far. And I remember, someone else talking about it that they got all the way to the finish line and got dings for something, and then had to start all over again. Boy, if I had to start all over again, I'd be mad. That's why I got a little second channel. It's going, my backup, And actually, I think I'm gonna do a video later on today about my plants. They're actually thriving. The ones that are left that I repotted, I got one big pot, Mike, that I strapped to the seat, and then one sitting on the floor. And the one sitting on the floor is growing like gangbusters because it's reaching for the sun. It's not getting direct sun, but since it's down on the floor, it's reaching for the sun, and it's actually got more leaves than the rest of them, which I think is pretty cool. But I'm hoping, I can go the distance. I'm hoping I go the distance. I think next paycheck I'm gonna get a long plastic bin. I'm gonna measure out the length of the seat and the water on the floor and put it right there. I can stick it in there so that it won't flip over. And that's usually what happens around here in the truck. The dirt flips over and I have um, nowhere to keep it steady. So right now I keep everything steady. And and talk about actually stinky booty confessions. I got to. I'm running. I got no time. Hopefully, um, I'm heading south into Texas. Normally, when I'm from Texas, I get something up to Pennsylvania, so I can actually. I'm not even saying sneak through the house, but I can actually go to the house, and I gotta wash my my sleeping bag. So what I do instead of having, I got a sheet, and I didn't put it on there. I'm just lazy. I sleep on, and when it's more, because it's not hot or cold. I sleep on top of my sleeping bag, but for some reason I sweat a lot in that sleeping bag. I got sour now, so I had to. It's time for it to get washed because it needs. It's kind of probably funky. You know how when you know how when you're around funk for so freaking long that you don't realize you smell like ASS. And that's probably what I smell like right now. But you'd be proud of me. I did a good scrub down, and that was one thing. I was just another part of that. These confessions because of COVID. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm terrified to go into the showers. These showers, truck stops are $10 or $15 a pop. Every time you fill up, you get a free shower. Yeah, and again, I'm not trying to press nobody, but I don't want to be around people. You know, and I'm still afraid. So what I've been doing, I get a bucket or a bowl and some soapy water, and I close the curtains and I get a good scrub down. You know, um, yeah, that's my normal, but you know we're getting back into normal time, so I guess maybe I need to start going back in these truck stops because a lot of nights I'm sleeping at a rest stop. You know, a lot of nights I don't got time. You know, what do you mean by that? Look, I got to get down the road. It's so funny. Dre Lachey was saying she drove with her boyfriend one time. And he says, so we're gonna take a shower. And when he's kind of beating at it, he's like, well, we really don't have time to hit the showers today. But she's like, oh heck, so heck to the no. And same thing when my wife came out here with me, she was like, what? I was like, babe, I gotta make this. I gotta get down the road. You know, and that's why a lot of times, even the mechanics, at the shops, and they tell you the stories, and y'all, at least I'm being honest about it. They tell you the story. They open the door to the truck, and they go, "Oh my God!" And that smell hits them, and you know, and that smell hits them like, "Oh my God!" And see, this is sometimes what the situation, and people laugh or whatever, but it is what it is. It is what it is, and this is just like this is like camping out here. Cause see, right now, if I don't make if I don't make this delivery by Friday, I ain't got time to be wasting around. I got to make this delivery by a certain time. I got to get there to drop this load and get my next one, or I'm stuck. I'm stuck all weekend waiting for a different load given to me on Monday, and I get paid when the wheels are turning, not when the wheels are sitting. I got to make this. I got to keep going. I got to get there. You know, that's a lot of times when I come home. A lot of times when I get home, I stay in that shower. I stay in that shower with that big loofah or whatever. And I'm scrubbing every crack and every bit of me, to get it, get this undone. you know, I'm not proud of it, but hey, I got to do what I got to do. You know, it's, it's the same thing. You got these guys that be in the military. We know how it is. I'm just saying. But other than that, we do what we got to do. It's just it's a job, and everything that you guys hold dear, your clothes, your cars, it's brought to you by one of us. Excuse me. It's brought to you by one of us. But that's why running and doing this hard stuff. Try to to have you know now. Think what I remember years ago. I've never had a vacation. Started having one vacation a year. Now to two, and I think in July. July is my anniversary. I might be getting 3 weeks. If I get 3 weeks, shoot, might add another cruise to that, or Charles did ask me where do we want to go. I got to figure out a place. I would love to go. I would love to go to the Maldives, but well, and I don't want to go. Yeah, they have other places like Jamaica and all these other places, but I want to go to the Maldives. And I might, you know, the 3 or 4 nights in a regular hotel, at least one night over the water, or something like that. I would like to do something, something in that aspect. You know what I mean? Something memorable. I might not even sleep that whole day because I'd have to do everything. They have like some of those bungalows or whatever. They have a slide that you slide into the water, and the water's crystal clear, and all that stuff that you can have that type of fun and really enjoy yourself and do something like that. I think that would be fun. You know, I don't have the nuts like Charles had. He goes to certain, you know, uh, they just came back from freaking Colombia. I don't have the balls for that. And when we go down to, I think, where is that? You know, correct me if I'm wrong, because I know he's in there. He's probably driving. But when we go down to Central America, because I can't remember where we're going right now, because I'm thinking about it. But when we leave, he's talking about they're gonna go over to, I think it was like Honduras or something. Don't quote me on that. They're gonna go across the border and then tour. I ain't got the nuts. You know, I ain't got the nuts for that one. But there's a few, like we was talking. I want to be able to do some stuff now, you know, and pay that stuff back, pay it off, whatever, because you know we're not going. Who knows when we're going to be old enough where you can't do it anymore? Who knows what the next day has for us? You know what I mean? So we got to really start enjoying what we have when we have. I'm trying to convince the wife to let's at least do one cruise on either the Scarlet Lady, the Valiant Lady, or the Virgin Voyage. She thinks it's a single cruise. I'm not going nowhere. Y'all hear how I talk about this woman? Ain't nobody's gonna float my eyeballs like she does, and then they're not ever gonna do it. You know what I mean? So the first one, it's not a singles cruise. They just have it pointed towards different crowds of people. But older people, I've watched video. Older people go, and they because there's a lot on that cruise ship has a lot of stuff for younger people. They have a lot of exercising. You know, on Carnival, when you're walking along outside, you see, putt golf and roller coasters and stuff. On the outside of this cruise ship, you see boxing bags and heavy bags and stuff for you to exercise. They have classes and adult classes where they're playing around and doing adult stuff, but it's exercise. They have a 1980s workout class and all this silly stuff where they dress up and look goofy and do a lot of partying and acting the fool. But you get to really get out there and move your butt, and you're not rolling on your behind. It's yeah, they do have food, but it's something like that. You know, the thing is, guys, you know what? A lot of times and we're pushed and pulled and knocked down and dragged out and everything under the sun. But at one point you got to learn how to pick yourself up by your bootstraps and fix the situation. A lot of people fixes their situation on their hate or their resentment for whoever put them in that situation. I try not to do that because that's going to keep me in that dark place. That's going to keep me in that dark situation. But if I move up in positive energy, it makes it more fun. It makes it more enjoyable. It makes you more understanding to the situation. You know, I had to check myself yesterday, and I was kind of in tears. I know this is going to sound stupid to you guys, but it's not stupid to me. I had to check myself because one thing I love to do is, to go to this auction. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of frustration. It's a lot of anxiety for me, and I have stressed myself to no end. I actually the first thing I bought at the auction, uh, I lost 600 to 800 bucks. But the other stuff, you know, I'm okay. I'm whatever. But I started again. I looked at the auction and I was like, oh, I'm a bid for this one. I'm a bid for this one. I'm a bid for this one. I'm a bid 200 here, 200, and that's another 600 again. And then, wait a minute. Then I was going to say, I could throw it on this empty card. I could put on this empty card. Then now I got to go 200 miles one way and then 200 miles back. I got to rush down there. The feeling of will I make it? Am I gonna be all right? Yada yada yada. And I said, well, I get back here, I can fix them and sell them. Well, the reality is, I said the same thing on the last auction. The reality is that Toro Greensmaster 1000, I I got a year's worth of work on that one. I said I'm gonna get that one and sell it. So why am I buying another one? Why am I trying to buy another one? Well, I could do this, I could do that. It's the same thing as when you hear these guys um, that I'm at 55 years old, I'm gonna be a rap star. Or 56 years old, I'm selling beats. I'm gonna make it. Yeah, your time's up, brother. Sorry, reality check. My time's up for now for the auction. Now I need parts for my aerator. Now if I spot one of those, yeah, I'm gonna be dumb and get it. But I I gotta leave it alone for now because I said I was gonna do this Toro. I'm gonna fix that up, repaint it, put the stuff on there, and I'm gonna sell that. I said, it's gonna take me. I'm gonna buy bits and pieces. I'm not gonna go off. I gotta start staying to my plan, staying the course. I gotta start putting money aside instead of throwing everything on credit cards. And I'm opening up a savings account just for my. This is a hobby. It's really not. I'm not gonna be make rich or whatever. I just want to see if I can do it. And I might either have them because I get frustrated trying to sell something, and I might just say firm, don't even try, yada yada yada, But that was something hard for me. It was something hard that I had to accept that I'm doing. Once again, I was doing an emotional decision, and yeah, I like looking at it. I might keep looking at it, but I gotta leave it alone because we're actually. I just remember where we're going. We're going to Costa Rica, and I promised my wife that I'm gonna help her pay back. I'm gonna pay back the tickets. So I was setting myself up. I was literally setting myself up for an argument between me and her, and literally doing it on purpose like a dumbass. So I feel that I actually grew a little bit in my emotional growth. That hey, you about to do something stupid there, dummy. You about to do something dumb. Because I, I'm always talking about checking myself And I really did. I had to check myself because I had it all set up. I'm gonna go. Let me use this card. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna blah 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 blah. Blah. No, I'm gonna leave that alone for now. But I have to set myself up because I believe I could do it, but I got to do. I can't sit here and go buy a whole bunch of shit that's broke and then can't afford these parts. One are hard to find. Two, when you do find them, they're expensive. So to make your money back, you got to make sure it's right. You got to make sure everything's right. So in turn, that's what I'm going to do. But I got to save up for it. So that's my admission. You know, that's my admission. It would have became one of those poor life choices that I'm always talking about. That I'm always saying poor life choices, and the boss lady is mad at me. And this one would be fair. She'd be duly. She would have a good reason to be mad at me. But I'm happy that I caught it. I'm happy that I'm working on the situations, seeing. I kind of was feeling like that guy. You see them guys that they had got a whole bunch of junk in their yard. That would be me if I didn't look at it in a certain way. You know what I mean? And I'm cool with that. But that's I'm telling my story. I like tinkering with things, but the tinkering is fun, but the parts are expensive because these lawnmowers, they're not regular, you know, household lawnmowers. You can't even go. I went to a Toro dealer and they just, sorry, Mister So and So, I can't even order the stuff. You got to order it from a specific place, and I got to call them, and I think I got to do one order over the phone, and then I can be able to access on to order stuff online. So I'm going to be working on that, next, and ordering this piece, that piece. But these are the things that I'm learning or whatever. Um, oh shoot, and that part of it, that's the funny part, like funny, ha ha, he, he, But it's something, it's something I find enjoyment in. I went my whole, I'm in my mid 50s. I went a lot of my adult life in survival mode. Yeah, no, right now I'm not in survival mode. We're just living. And what do you mean by that? I'm living and breathing and enjoying the situations that we have that I'm going through. We're just living. Like when I get off here, I'm like, I'll call boss man Charles and hey, what you doing? Nothing. What you doing? Hey, and then we'll actually talk. That's what I'm trying to. I be trying to get him on here because we talk about a lot of stuff just going down the road. Because one of the things about being a truck driver, yes, if your life is effed up, it gets multiplied 10 squared in this thing. This inside here, a prison cell is bigger than this dang on this truck. And but you have a lot of thought and a lot of time to think about things when you're in there by yourself. So you have to find stuff that catches your interest. Yeah, we don't. I don't look at the the telephone, but it's sure enough listen to it. Could you imagine before smartphone? You had to put a cassette deck in or listen to the radio for 10, 12, 13 hours a day. Oh my God, I'd have been miserable. Oh my Lord. I'd be like, why don't you just kill me? you know? Oh Lord. Don't you know? but that's part of this. But there's a lot of philosophical things that you think about when you're in this vehicle. Like in turn, I'll put this one out there. Think about this. Do you think, because we see a lot of violence in our neighborhoods and in our societies and in our women and in a lot in our men. Do you think that might have been interbred in us all the way back slavery days? Because see, the slave owners didn't just bring slaves over there; they bred slaves to make bigger slaves. They actually interbred, you know, brothers and sisters, mothers and sons, and you know, fathers and daughters. And even as disgusting as that sounds, they did that over, hundreds of years. They did that to us. Do you think that might have they might have screwed up the gene pool? And the reason I say that is because you see the violence that's on our streets and some of the people that have become, and I'm talking young people with no remorse, none in their innermost being, just killing people left and right, and over stupid stuff, over the color of your shirt or the bandana that you got on your head. I tell this story all the time that I was in walking around south of Los Angeles working to pick up a load, and I said, well, I'm gonna walk up to to the Taco Bell. I walk up there and I got night transportation. One of our colors is red. I got a big oversized red night transportation shirt with a blue bandana on my head. People that were living in driving in that area probably looking like, look at this confused nut. And I walked about, I always exaggerate like it was a whole mile, but it was probably a quarter of a mile, honestly. It's probably a quarter of a mile. It didn't dawn on me what I did. And I was, I was almost there. And then I remembered my subconscious yelling to me, hey, boy is in the hood, mother effer. And I looked down, I looked at my shirt, and I looked at my bandana, because I wear bandanas. I snatched the bandana off my head and started running back towards the truck. And I remember, I mean, I'm a little in shape now. I say a little. I wasn't in shape then. I was, pushing 300. And I started hauling ass down the road. And I ran to the truck, and I was kind of mad that you didn't think that a company that has full red shirts on would put on our Qualcomm, which is on board. Hey, if you're ever going into California, take off your red shirt. And they would say something like that. Don't wear bright red shirt. You might get shot. But no, I was just saying. But I was just saying, like, because I did a genealogy, whatever, and it's just all the people that I'm related to, and it was all over the spectrum. But I was just thinking about that. One that could you messed up the gene pool so badly that you're wondering why, some of the things that it might be inherent. They talk about, and like I said, don't quote me on that. It's just something I was thinking about. You know what I mean? But it's weird, and just trying to figure that one out. But I know I've been up here. I'm on 57, and I'm on 57 South right now. And know I've been up here, but nothing is recognizable. I'm in Missouri. I just crossed over into Missouri right now. Oh, there we go. I got 10 miles, and now I know where I'm. I got 10 miles to 55. Um, I got 10 miles to 55. That's where I know that's looking more familiar. They have a place up here in the north. It's called Menards. That's like a Home Depot on steroids. I freaking love that place. Just their construction area alone, and just have you in tears. It's a real fun place to be. I don't know if you have a Menards over there where you at, Mike, but I wish Menards would come down to Georgia. I remember I found a it's a broiler. It's like, we I don't know if y'all guys ever heard of Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. Well, what they do is they put their steaks on a grill, and they grill it through like the heat from a broiler at the top. It's cooked from the top, not the bottom, and they use clarified butter to put on the steak and season it really well. Well, well, these they have a broiler like that. I bought it at Menards, and I remember I said, you know what, I'm gonna get one of them, and because I was in there looking for a professional rake. It's a really big giant rake, and I was gonna buy that. And where I had stopped at in Illinois, the truck stop um, was about a mile away, and I remember it. Um, I, I said, you know what? I need it. I wasn't thinking about it. It's just I need to get Charles one of these. He like cooking, and I bought Charles one. So now I got two of these big ass boxes and a professional rate. And I'm trying to figure out how the hell I'm gonna walk this uh, a mile back to the truck stop to get it, and how am I gonna do it? So I asked the lady, excuse me, man, do you got two big garbage bags? I'm trying to carry this stuff back to my 18 wheeler, which is across the bridge, and at the truck stop. So she gave me these two bags. I'm outside, and I'm tying the bags, and I stick them through the holes on the rig like a hobo, and I throw them over my shoulders, and now I'm walking across the parking lot and down the road with these things on my shoulders, huffing and puffing, uh, uh, and then I'm stopping, and I'm thinking, oh, I'm stopping, and I'm thinking, oh no. And I'm stopping and thinking, this was a bad, this was a bad idea. And my pants are drooping. I'm trying to tighten my belt, and I'm sweating. And I go another 500 feet. I'm stopping, and I'm going, oh my god, uh, uh, uh. And I'm thinking, what in Sam Hill? And, uh, uh, And I know people looking and they slowing down, trying to figure what the hell I'm doing. And I got this over my shoulder, and I'm like, oh my God, what's the matter? I must have lost my damn mind, and I'm trying, and I'm huffing and puffing, and the bag is starting to bust. One of the bags starting to bust. I retighten it, and and this goes on for a good 45 minutes. I'm huffing and puffing and weaving, and I'll tell you, I said, boy, and I'm saying to myself, don't you ever do this again? And I'm moving, I'm getting it, I'm sitting there cracking the heck up, and I finally get to the truck stop. I could see the finish line. The finish line is about 2 football fields away, but I'm in the truck stop area. I'm still going through it, trying to get there. When I finally get to the door of my truck, the bags burst and they fall on the ground, and I freaking made it. I couldn't believe it, and I was so proud of myself. And I said, hey man, I called Charles up and said, hey man, I I got you something. And again, most people when they do stuff like that, they're looking for something back. No, I never wanted nothing back. But I I I made the effort because, you know, one, I got a really good friend, and two, I wanted someone to enjoy something that I know I was gonna have fun with. And this thing, it cooks a steak within minutes. You know what I mean? That thing raw. I mean, it cooks within minutes. It's fun, and you flip it, and I mean, within minutes. But the process, I will never forget the process of trying to get that damn thing from that store to my truck. And these are the things I do while I'm by myself. Because everybody's like, I don't need nobody. I'm by myself. These are the things I do when I'm by myself. You know what I mean? These are the things that I do. It's not because I don't know. I'm not gonna make excuses like it's not because because I want to, because I have to, blah blah blah. But these are the things that I've done and I do by myself because you know this was my life. This is my life, my situation. My stinky booty confessions. That like right now, I feel lighter because I'm scrubbing my ass from top to bottom. You know, I look like I don't know. Y'all see that it's on TikTok where the mouse is under the water with this and sun, it's the soapy water. How they did that? That's what I look like in the back of the truck. And I'm not proud of it, but I do what I got to do. You know what I'm saying? I do what I got to do. But because I do what I got to do, I I can have situations in my life where I can find enjoyment, have friends, and do things that I don't think I ever would have had the chance to do. That's why I appreciate my friends. I appreciate my family, which is my wife and my son. I appreciate. Oh, wait, look! I look down. I would have blew right by the exit. Last time I did that, I was 46 miles down the road before I figured, wait a minute, I'm going the wrong way. Why is this GPS still talking to me? And that's what I did. I think it was last week. I was like, what's the matter with this dang on GPS? And I looked down and said, it's telling me to turn around. And I missed the exit. And it took 46 miles later, I finally got back to the right spot. And, and if you want to tell me that how sad that was, because I was low on out, and I was like, man, I don't freaking believe this. This sucks. You know what I mean? But this, these are the things you do, and this is how this happens. But it is what it is. One of the things, and I don't know if you can see that sign that says 30 miles an hour, but for an 18 wheeler, that 30 miles an hour take this turn. You don't want to come around these turns doing 30 miles an hour. That's for a car. Even in the DOT book is telling you slow down and cut that in half. Well, I'm kind of doing, uh, you know, about 10 right. No, actually, I'm doing 18. But you want to cut that in half because that inertia will flip your vehicle over. You know, I remember when Norma would say, why are you driving so slow? Why are you always in the far right lane? Get out of this lane. She was saying, nah, baby. Oh, why you do such a wide turn? Because my brain is so used to driving a truck when I'm in a regular car. It's hard to differentiate. It's hard to remember the difference. You know, the first day or two it takes you got to acclimate or whatever they call that. Who knows? But that's what it is. Charles is different. He rides faster. We, he rides faster. Not me, man. I can't do it because I'm not good like that. As somebody I know once said, I ain't that good. But we get it done. And it is what it is. Oh wow! Right now, I'm looking down. I done did. Oh, in 130 miles. I'll be back into my regular area. My regular area that I know of. Well, I don't need nothing because normally I'd jump off in 130 miles and go to the Walmart, but I got everything I need because I went to Sam's Club. I don't know why, but I have to have this. It's like I think I'm gonna die if I don't. And I'm OCD about it. I have to have at least 2 cases of water in the truck. If I don't have 2 cases of water in the truck, and then I'm freaking out. So I got 2 cases. So I don't really need nothing. So that's one of my spots where over there in Arkansas you can actually there's a Walmart over there that has truck parking, but I don't need to go there, so I'm just gonna keep on going. So that's what we're gonna be doing today, and then I'm gonna be going down a certain way. It's gonna force me, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Where I'll be able to find parking. But it's gonna be early in the day, so I should be all right. I know I'm that area, so I'll be pushing it. Um, and I apologize, guys. I can't see y'all when y'all come in. Thanks for coming in. Welcome in, welcome in. And for y'all that are on the replay, this is Mumble Thursday. Where I'm gonna just say it like that. This is Mumble Thursday. We're mumbling, but it's helping me to wake up. And I appreciate y'all for coming in. I know what sells is talking about relationships and all that, but today I really didn't want to talk about relationships. Um, I want to talk about just being responsible. I really wanted to talk just really being responsible because well, I set out at the last auction that I'm gonna work on these two pieces. These gonna be my DIYs for 2023, which is the two pieces I have in the garage. But I started looking at the auction again. And Charles, no, oh God, don't do that. But because I was looking at stuff, so I could do this, I can do that. And the main thing I was talking about today is just think about stop doing emotional, and if you really want something, prepare for it. Like I was telling another fellow YouTuber about cruising. If you don't know about cruising, you want to go on a cruise, you can either do it two ways. One, call up the cruise lines and do it yourself, or the other is try someone that is responsible and talk to them and give them a sale. And don't do nothing big. Ask, they have like 3 or 4 day cruises. They're called booze cruises, where people get on them, they party for 3 or 4 days and come back. You can get an inside room. You know, some cruises actually you can some cruises you actually can do where it's actually they trying to get you on the boat. So it's actually it could be 150, $200 for the cruise because they got you. They're trying to get you on the boat. You can try to do a last minute cruise, something like that. And I'm saying that to say the husband and wife team that I trust because hopefully I'm a good judge of character. Cruising is they're in our YouTube streets. Cruising is fun anytime. The husband is a cruise advisor. In other words, he can he can get you a cruise. He sells cruises. I'm saying that to say try them out because they're so ridiculously polite and nice. Try them out. And what do you do? You put half the time you only put 15 bucks, not 15, I'm sorry, 50 bucks or $100 down and you pay for it. You know, you could find cruises so damn dirt cheap and get out there and have fun and do things, but you can do it like, y'all remember Walmart had a layaway and it comes back every once in a while. It's just like paying on a layaway. You just got to pay a certain amount of time before a certain time date, and you can help them out, help them grow their business, and just talking about your fears and all that, and then they'll be able to reassure you. Because what they do is what he'll do is he looks for certain areas on the boat. Now you don't want to be near an elevator. You don't want to be under, the deck. You don't want to be over where the people are partying. What about here? Would you think that'd be nice? And then what you could do is, if you say, "What room am I in?" They show you the room. You can Google it. You can go on YouTube and punch in that room. You might actually be able to see the room because a lot of times people do. Um, that's how the last few boats I did a walk around of certain room numbers, and then you could see your room. And on certain boats, just like if you're going to pick Carnival, Carnival has a price right. If they drop the price, you get money back. Ask cruising is fun anytime. Will you guys fight for me if the price drops? And that's how you can make your decision. Do you see what I'm saying? Because you know, you know, I tried someone else and they treated me like dirt. But I'm different than other people. I have hope. I'm hoping that you guys are going to do the right thing. People like I don't. It's the same thing, and I'm trying to stay away from the relationship, but it's the same thing. I had hope that I was going to find the right person for me in my life. I had hoped that I was gonna find, you know, a good friend to be a buddy and talk men shit and grow a pair again. Because before, my last buddy, my nuts was shriveled up. I got someone I could talk men shit up, and my nuts stopped shriveling up, and I actually grew a pair. You know what I mean? These are the things we need as people. We need camaraderie. We need to be able to get out there and talk and do things and have fun and be who, it's like the army. Be all that you can be on YouTube. It's the same thing. Now I've got YouTube friends. My man Mike, you all right with me? You know what I'm saying? Y'all are good. You are good. Y'all are good folks. And that's why I'm like, you know, uh, that's why when you like, I'm trying to grow these damn plants, and I'm looking at these bugs. I'm like, fucking bugs. How the fuck they get in my fucking truck? And I'm yelling and screaming. I'm getting upset. And then I go, well, what would Mike do? I'm gonna keep spraying these sons of bitches. I don't know if I could eat from them. I don't spray some of that neem oil, and that stopped working. I got rid of, some of them just died off. They got chewed up. But then I'm on the road. I went in the store and got me some. I didn't get that topsoil because all that is wood chips, and something's in that stuff. And I got this other potting soil, and they're growing. I see one or two of the bugs flying around. I'm trying to get them, but it gives you something. Say, I've never done this before. I never figured out this before. It gives me something to figure out and have fun doing. And that's the stuff that that's the stuff I need. But all right, guys, um, we're gonna go ahead and shut this. We don't went over our time. I think I might start calling this Mumble Thursday. We done finished our Mumble Thursday. Want to say, thank you for coming in. You know what? Let's close out with a word of prayer. Most Heavenly Father, just want to thank you for, starting us out this day. It's keeping us and from giving us in, keeping us out of danger. But we just want to say thank you, Lord, for this health and strength. Thank you, Lord, for this camaraderie. We, we want to talk about nothing all big and important, but having fun and just getting together for one single purpose, a whole lot of nothing. But we just say thank you for your blessings and thank you for your grace and your mercy. And we just and we're just gonna close out with the same thing we say every day. If you don't think nobody loves you, just know that I love you and God loves you too. You guys have a blessed day, and we shall see y'all tomorrow. Deuces.